Welcome to the Leading Life Podcast, the place where leadership meets real life. Here is where we talk about leading with intention, living with clarity, and getting better results for the people we serve every single day. If you're ready to grow, you're in the right place. Right now, on today's episode, this is your unbreakable morning mindset. Welcome to the Leading Life Podcast. I'm Andy Zook, and this isn't just a podcast about leadership, but it's about who you are becoming as a leader and as a person. As a leader of leaders, my mission is to evolve how we lead, bringing modern thinking and real human impact into a world that's still sometimes holding on to outdated leadership models. Today isn't just about getting results as a leader. It's about how you show up. It's how you develop your people and help them build a fulfilling life. First starts with you. I promise you, no fluff, no empty motivation, just practical actions you can take immediately right now. And today's episode is personal, and it matters because it's going to give you an edge over anybody else who just winks up and rushes into their day without really mentally preparing for it. I'm not giving you something I read in a book, but something I live myself every single day. The other morning, I wrote down what exactly are the things that I think about as I start my day, and what do I do to mentally prepare myself. So this is going to sound a little different because I'm not going to tell you, get up and drink water, start journaling, get your workout, take a cold shower. What I'm really going to do is go deeper and help you get into a mindset that will really start your day in the best possible way. And again, this is the mindset I've built over 35 years of leading people, building teams, and learning how to lead myself, because how you start your morning is really going to determine how you show up in your life. And most people wake up reactive. They got their phone, they're stressed already, thinking about what's ahead of them, and there's all this noise. And before they even get out of bed, they've already handed the day away. Leaders don't do that, though. Leaders create the tone first. All right, let's jump in. Number one, bring yourself into a space of love. Before anything else, pause and bring yourself into a space of love. Not surface level, not forced, but real, intentional self-love. Remind yourself, I am here, I am worthy, I am allowed to grow, to evolve, and to become. And then extend that outward. Today, I will move through the world with love, because the energy you carry is the energy you give. And the energy you give will become the life you build. And so before you think this is all woo-woo, I'm going to remind you that no matter what you do for work, you've got to begin your day with love and not be afraid to love the world. That doesn't mean as a leader you're not going to hold high standards. That doesn't mean as a coach you're going to let one of your players execute incorrectly. Think of it this way. When you have to discipline your child, where does it really come from? It comes from a place of love. You don't want to see them fall down. You don't want to see them get hurt. You don't want to see them fail in classes at school. So even if you're going into the hardest business in the world today, when you start from a place of the best intentions and love for yourself and others, trust me, you're already ahead of everyone else. Not too long ago, I got a text from one of my former assistant managers, and she said, you're the best boss I ever had. And I responded with, yeah, you probably say that to all your bosses. And she said, no, I don't. And let me tell you why. And then she went through the whole list of things, you do this, you do that. But the last thing she says, most of all, Andy, you are loving. And it struck me for a while. I don't know if I even liked it when I first read the text. I was like, loving? Does that make a great leader? Yes, it does. I'm going to tell you, if you start your day with love for yourself, for your family, and you project that out into the world, like I said, you're going to have an edge over everybody else who hasn't even thought about that yet or let that into their heart. Number two, step into gratitude. Not routine, but deep appreciation. You woke up today. You have another shot. You were loved into existence, like Mr. Rogers says. Think about those who came before you, the path they paved, so you could be standing here today. I think about my father's father who plowed the fields on the farm in the burning hot sun. Or I think about my mother and her mother facing sexism and harassment at work and then fighting to put an end to it in the workplace. There have been so many people that have come before us that did a lot of heavy lifting so we could live the lives we live now. Gratitude grounds you, and grounded people don't get shaken easy. So let's say for some reason you wake up today and you're not feeling grateful because things are going upside down for you. Things are difficult. You're going through hard times. I want you to know we all feel like that sometimes, and it's understandable. But here's what you can also act on. There's got to be at least 1, 2, or 3 people in your life who love you and are there to help you. Just send them a message of gratitude and say, hey, I'm grateful that you're in my life. Because when life gets hard as it does, your friends and family are the ones that really help you through it. Number 3, listen to your inner signal. If something feels off in the morning, don't ignore it. That's your internal voice trying to guide you. Ask yourself, what doesn't feel right? What am I avoiding? Most people start to distract themselves, but leaders get curious. Awareness creates change. I'll tell you, every time that I went against my gut reaction or what my body was telling me, I was set up to fail. Listen to yourself. If something doesn't feel right, it's not right. Don't even overanalyze it. Move forward in another direction. It's like when Tim Ferriss says, whatever you're going into, maybe it's your next job or relationship, it is either hell yes or hell no, and nothing in between. Number 4, relentlessly forgive yourself. I don't know where I heard this. I'm taking it from somebody else I saw online on a video. I think it was on Twitter. But basically, relentlessly forgive yourself. You cannot move forward while holding yourself hostage to your past. You made mistakes? Good. That means you were in the game. Learn it, own it, release it. But you don't grow by punishment. You grow by progress. Number 5, forgive others and let it go. Resentment is heavy. And you carry it into every interaction, not because it's still hurting you, but because you're holding on to it. Forgiveness isn't about them. It's about freeing yourself. People are going to do some really crappy stuff to you in this life, and it's going to hurt. It's going to be hard, really hard, but you have to learn to let go. You know what? Frank Sinatra said it best. The best revenge is massive success. Just focus on your growth and you doing well, and let it go. Number 6, always choose kindness. Yeah, let me tell you something real. I saw a woman who had backed her brand new SUV into a light pole. This was, maybe 10, 15 years ago. Maybe more than that. And people were just laughing at her, judging, labeling. I even heard one of them say, look at rich lady, busted up her car or something like that. And so I walked over to her and I said, hey, are you okay? And she said, yeah, I'm okay, but my husband is going to kill me because the taillight smashed in the back and so on, so on. I said, listen, this can happen to anyone. It's not worth being so upset over. The important thing is you're okay. The taillight's replaceable, you're not. And in that moment, her whole world softened. And that's what kindness does. Be the calm in somebody else's chaos. I can tell you that I will never regret any time in my life in the most difficult moments, maybe dealing with the most difficult people or personalities. I never regret being kind. I never regret choosing the higher road, ever. And I'm going to tell you, somebody today is going to need your kindness. So start there. Always start with kindness. Number 7, seek what lights you up. Yeah, too many people wake up with no energy. They're flat. They're going through this automatic life. And that's a choice. But ask yourself, what can I do that gives me energy today? Even something small, because energy builds momentum, and momentum builds a better life. So why I put this here is, let's say you're going to some 9-to-5 job and you don't really like it, but you got to put food on the table. You got to pay your bills. I get it. We've all been there. But there's something better for you out there, right? You know that. You're working in, let's say, analytics, but your passion is for human resources. Then you've got to make sure you're making moves every day to get to that department, to get to where you want to go. Lean into what you love, but you've also got to have the action behind it. Otherwise, you're never going to get there. Lean into what lights you up. Number 8, focus on developing your skills. Confidence isn't something you talk yourself into. It's something you build. Get better every day. Learn more. Practice more. Improve. Because when you know you're sharpening your edge, you show up differently. You can't just do one thing and one thing really well and hope that that will be enough for your whole life. Each of us have to be on a continuous journey to learn different skills. Try something that is totally different that you've never done before. I, over my life, have never really learned how to cook well. Like, I could make some stuff that's okay, but to really cook well enough that everybody's going to want to eat what I make. And you may say, oh, that's not an important skill. Well, it became one. I had a family member who wasn't able to cook for a while, so I stepped in and did it for them. And no, it's not a hard skill like computer programming or coding, but it's a skill nonetheless. Another example would be, I wanted to put together this podcast and help people become better leaders and live more fulfilling lives. What am I going to need to do that? Well, I'm going to need to learn some basic psychology. So I got books on psychology. I started to learn from psychologists. Always be on the path of learning new and different skills. If you tell me you want to learn how to paint, that's great. That's a skill. You never know what that could lead to. And so don't downplay one versus the other. Be on a continuous journey of learning and acquiring skills. Number 9, control what you can control. Best way to put it is, I remember after 9/11, one morning I'm driving to work and I'm listening to news radio and it's talking about just horrible stuff over and over. And the war is raging now, and it's just felt so overwhelming to me. Like, I'm on my drive to work, and the world was just spinning out of control. And then it hit me, wait a minute, like, turn off the radio, turn off the news. I don't control the world, but I control what I consume. I control what I focus on. I control how I respond. Protect your mind. If you hear anything in this, protect your mind, because what you feed it becomes your reality. You know, I get up every morning and I watch the news. Well, I make coffee before anything happens, but I watch the news first thing in the morning, and after 15 minutes, I turn it off. And then I move on to writing, working on the podcast or a motivational video to watch or something. But even that 15 minutes of news, sometimes I just feel already drained. What I'm saying here is control what you can control, and don't let so much of the world's negativity into your head, because it's just going to put you into a bad space for the rest of the day. If you think about all the horrible things that are going on, it's just going to wear too heavy on you. Just be careful what you let into your head. Number 10, set 3 intentions for the day and no negotiation on them. I don't want you to make a long list. I just want you to set 3 things. You know, it could be, I'm going to be the best leader I can be for my team today. Or it could be, help my husband or my wife around the house today and get stuff done. It could be, I'm going to clean out the closet. It could be, I'm going to learn a new skill. Whatever you choose, just pick them and don't negotiate with your mind after you do it. You are going to accomplish those 3 things no matter what. Pick them and execute. Because every time you follow through, you build self-trust. And what's self-trust? That's where confidence lives. All right, let's talk a little bit about neurology here. When you start your day this way, you've programmed your brain. You're telling it, I'm in control, I follow through, I lead myself. And your brain starts to believe it. You're building new neural pathways, not because you said it, because you're proving it. And if you can lead your morning, you can lead your life, because who you become at 6 a.m. will be who you show up at 2 p.m., 5 p.m. in the end of the day. The earlier you start to win, the more often you're going to win throughout the rest of the day. And here's your call to action for this episode. Tomorrow morning, when you wake up, I don't want you to try all 10 of these. Just pick 3 that you can start and then stack from there. Here they are again. Bring yourself into a space of love. Practice deep gratitude. Listen to your inner signal. Relentlessly forgive yourself over and over. Forgive others. Choose kindness. Seek what lights you up. Develop your skills daily. Control what you can control. And set 3 intentions for the day. No negotiation. So I want to leave you with a couple questions to think about. What energy am I bringing into my day right now? Where do I need to let go to move forward? And what would it look like to lead my life better starting tomorrow morning? Leadership isn't a title. It's really how you live. And how you start your day is how you build your life. So go out today and lead yourself well. All right, so that is my episode. And if this episode spoke to you, share it with someone you think might need to hear it. And if you like what you are hearing, please leave me a rating or review. And please hit subscribe so you won't miss another episode of the Leading Life Podcast. I'm Andy Zook. Remember, I want you to lead with purpose, live with intention, and keep becoming who you were meant to be. But most importantly, go out and be the hero of somebody's story today. I will talk to you on the next episode. Bye.